There are only a few more days left in this Big Brother season, y'all, and even though the results are looking a little obvious at this point, there's still a few ways this thing could go. There is an obvious frontrunner right now, but their path to the end may not be as seamless as we think. There are a few things to talk about, including the likely eviction results tomorrow, but before we get into all that, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below if you have not already. I know Big Brother is going to be ending soon, but I do talk about other reality shows on my channel here from time to time. Plus, I'll probably be posting some good post-season content as well, so make sure you're subscribed for all the good reality TV news. Now, let's get started. So when we last left off, MJ had won the final veto of the season, and she was deciding whether to evict Cam or Rubina. Keeping Rubina was probably best for MJ's game, since Cam was planning on cutting her later down the line anyway, but keeping Cam in the game was better for both him and Chelsie. So over the next few days, we're gonna see both Cam and Chelsie making the push to keep him. So Cam is gonna go to meet and have his one-on-one with MJ, and she's still a little bit upset with him over stuff that happened last week, so she's going to confront him about that Kimo flip.
The wanting of you to keep Kimo over Rubina, which wasn't a problem to me, but then it made me freak out. I was like, would he, like, if in the final three, would you have kept, and you won that veto, would you have kept Kimo over me?
Cam trying to flip the vote to keep Kimo last week seems to be what's bothering Makensy the most, but he is able to lie and just smooth things over pretty easily here.
My relationship with Kimo is better than my relationship with Rubina.
Yep.
I would not have kept Kimo over you. Kimo has T-Kor and Rubina in the jury, and Kimo had the social game of Angela and Quinn, a final two with Quinn.
Cam is also mentioning how Rubina is a much bigger jury threat than him, which I do kind of agree with. And I think the fact that he's getting into MJ's ear kind of early about all this is helping him too. Look, I know that Cam gets a lot of shit for not playing too hard in the game. But in his defense, he has had his moments here and there, and he's able to lie pretty well when he needs to. And I just thought that this conversation was a pretty good example of that. Now, in addition to all this, Chelsie has also been pushing hard for Cam to stay, and we all know that MJ is already susceptible to Chelsea's miss. So over time, Chelsie is able to subtly push and make her case, eventually to the point where MJ is actually thinking about keeping Cam.
Right now, I'm leaning more towards Cam. Yeah. I'm not gonna let somebody else's voice depict what I choose.
What you want
for this game. And I've said it since day one. Honestly, I told people that I wanted to play a loyal game and I wanted to play with the competitors.
Now MJ is slowly but surely heading on over to Team Cam, and Rubina just hasn't been doing that much to campaign for herself, and stuff like that really pisses MJ off. Now it just looks like Rubina feels comfortable in the game, and if there is one thing that MJ really hates for some reason, is for people to feel too comfortable. So for a while, things were actually looking pretty grim for Rubina, but she does eventually decide to finally meet and have a one-on-one with MJ the day before the eviction. In this conversation, Rubina does reiterate that she would indeed bring MJ along to the final two, which I liked. But my biggest fear here is that Rubina is just having this conversation too late.
You know, it could go either way. Do I think if at the end of the day Cam were there, there's more of an option for her to maybe bring him?
No, there is.
Yeah. I think there would be. And in the off chance that he does take it, then I think he would also bring her. And I know for me, and I mean this from the very beginning, I've said this all along, I'm not scared. If I did also on the off chance when I'm not scared to choose you and bring you up there.
Now, MJ is right to think that Cam and Chelsie could end up choosing each other in the end. So again, I do think that Rubina is the better choice for MJ to keep, but I just need them both to really recognize that. Rubina did do a decent job in this conversation, but my fear is just that it wasn't enough. To make things even worse, Rubina is also promising to give MJ a jury vote if she stays, but I just don't know how effective that's going to be. Because her being that guaranteed vote is just an even better reason for MJ to want to evict her. At the time of this recording, MJ still hasn't made a solidified decision yet. Again, I really think that her and Rubina should team up here, but I'm just not sure if that conversation was really enough to change her mind.
And the only thing I can know for me,
Yeah.
obviously, I can't win shit. But on the off chance, if possible, I did get to choose, I would love it to be the youngest and one of the oldest. And
That
I
is
would
true.
be so thrilled to be. But that's obviously on the off. I need to stop. On
It's
the
possible.
off. It is possible, right? There's still, theoretically, there's a 1 in 3 chance if I got that far.
30.
So I'm still not completely sure who's going to be leaving this week, but I just wouldn't be surprised if it was Rubina. In other news, Chelsie has been busy practicing her final jury speech. We are getting so close to the end, and Chelsie can feel her win in the air, and honestly, I can too.
I believe that anything in life is not about how you start it, it's how you finish it. There was not a day that went by where I wasn't thinking critically, logically, strategizing, or building relationships with those in the house. I didn't come in here planning to be a calm threat. I came in here planning to build relationships with people as much as possible.
Let's be honest, she probably has the best chance of winning that final HOH, but even if she doesn't, it's still looking damn near inevitable that she's going to be sitting in those final 2 chairs. Honestly, the only thing I could possibly see getting in her way at this point is Cam. Cam knows that his game has been a little lackluster this season, so he has said out loud before that cutting Chelsie would be a pretty good shock factor, which he's definitely not wrong about that, but I'm still not sure if he would really do it at the end of the day. Because he has also mentioned that he would cut MJ too. If Cam stays, he would be, statistically speaking, the least likely to win that final HOH, but it could make for a very interesting finale if he did. So that's all I have for today. Like I was saying, as of right now, a Chelsie win still looks like our most likely outcome, but there's still a little room for things to change there, I guess. Of course, I want to know, who do you think is going to win this whole thing? Do you think it's going to be Chelsie, or could it be someone else instead? Let me know in the comments below. No matter what happens, I've still enjoyed watching this chaotic ass season with y'all. It has been a hot mess from start to almost the finish, but I've still loved every minute of it. I'll be back here 1 or 2 more times to update you all before the finale, but until then, bye.